Hello everyone. Today we are going to discuss about losses in prestressed concrete due to friction. So the problem that we have considered is a concrete beam of 10 meter span having a 100 mm width and 300 mm depth is pre-stressed by 3 cables. The area of its cable is 200 mm square and initial stress in its cable is given as 1200 MPa. The cable 1 is parabolic with an eccentricity of 50 mm above the centroid at the support and 50 mm below the center at the center of the span. So what does it mean? That suppose this red tendon is a cable 1. So the cable 1 has an eccentricity of 50 mm above the centroid. So this is the centroid, this is the centroid of the section, this is the centroid. So the cable 1 has an eccentricity of 50 mm above the centroid at the end, and it has an eccentricity of 50 mm below the centroid. So this is below the centroid at the midspan of the section. So this is the profile of the first wear. Then for the second wear, for the second cable is also parabolic with 0 eccentricity at the support and 50 mm below the centroid at the center of the span. That means suppose this blue line is a cable 2 which has a 0 eccentricity, that means it is placed at the centroid of the section at the end, but it is placed at the eccentricity of 50 mm below the centroid at the center of the span. Okay, and the cable 3 is straight with an uniform eccentricity of 50 mm below the centroid. So the third, this is a cable 3 which is a straight line, the green line which is a straight line with an eccentricity of 50 mm all along the length. Now let's try to solve this problem. So the data that are available with us: B is 100 mm, D is 300 mm, area of which cable is 200 mm square. The stress in cable is 1200 Newton per mm square. So the pre-stressing force P is given by 2.4 into 10 to the power 5 Newton. The mu value and K value are already given to us in the problem. So before going to the problem, let's look into the clause. You can find the clause in IS 1343 2012. The clause number is 19.5.2.6. The equation for finding out the losses due to friction is given by Px is equal to P naught into e to the power mu alpha plus Kx. Here a small mistake is there. It should be Px is equal to P naught e to the power minus mu alpha plus Kx. Okay, where mu is the coefficient of friction, K is the coefficient of wave effect, alpha is the cumulative angle in radian through which the tangent to the cable profile has turned between any 2 points under consideration. We will see what is this. And what is P naught? P naught is the initial pre-stressing force, and Px is the pre-stressing force after loss at the distance x from one end of the cable. Now let's go into the solution. First of all, as you have seen in the equation, we need to find out the alpha, that is cumulative angle. So before that, we need to find out the angle of the parabola. So as we have seen, the cable has a profile something like this. As this is parabolic, obviously when we are going to stretch it or when we are going to pull the cable through the duct, because of this profile there will be friction between the duct and the cable. So the first thing that we need to find out is the slope, that is what is this angle. Suppose this is cable 1, suppose this is theta 1. Okay, so for this cable, let us assume that this is the length is given by capital L. The maximum deep of the cable is given by h, and this is x and this is y. Then the equation for y, which is a function of x, can be written as yx is equal to 4h by L square into x whole into L minus x. Probably you have already got this particular equation in structure analysis. So if you want to find out the slope of this particular line, then you just need to do the differentiation of this particular function. So differentiating yx with respect to x will give you the slope of this particular parabola, and putting the value of x, you can find out at which location you want to find out the slope. So we are doing the same thing here. If we want to find out the slope at the end, so at the end, if I differentiate this particular equation yx and substitute x is equal to 0, because for this parabola this is x, this is y. At the initial position x is equal to 0, at the end position x is equal to L. So putting x is equal to 0, we can find out the slope theta 1 is equal to as 4h by L. Okay. So if you put the value of h as well as L for the cable 1, you can find the theta 1, and which is come out to be 1 by 25. Okay, so theta 1 is equal to 1 by 25 radian. Now the question is, what is the cumulative angle? The cumulative angle, if you want to find out, this is, suppose this is the cable, this is the tangent, right? The angle the tangent is making with the base, which is theta 1, right? And at this initial position, and at the final position, the tangent is making an angle of same angle theta 1, right? So by which amount the tangent has rotated? It is theta 1 plus theta 1, which is twice of theta 1. Okay, so this is the cumulative angle. Alpha 1 is equal to 2 of theta 1, which is 2 of 1 by 25. Okay, so the alpha 1 for the first cable is given by 0.08 radian. Similarly, for the cable 2, if you put the values of h and L in the 4h by L equation, then you can find out the slope as 1 by 50 at the support. And if you want to find out the cumulative angle alpha 2, which is 0.04 radian. Okay, now we have already got the equation for pre-stressing, which is Px is equal to P into e to the power minus alpha mu alpha 1 plus Kx, right? Now you can see here that this is an exponential function, right? So if you remember, if you try to expand e to the power minus x, it is something like 1 minus x plus x square by factorial 2 minus x cube by factorial 3 plus dot dot dot, right? Now if x value is very small, if it is very small, in that case, suppose x is 0.01 or something, in that case if you take the square of this, obviously x square will be smaller than x, right? Again you are dividing it in this term, so this terms will be very small terms, so we can neglect these values, and e to the power minus x for a very small value can be written as 1 by x. Okay, so it has been found that the friction losses is generally very small, or this value is generally very small. So this equation Px is equal to P e to the power mu alpha 1 plus Kx. This equation can be written as P whole into 1 minus mu alpha 1 plus Kx. Okay, so as you can see over here, for a very small value of mu alpha 1 plus Kx, Px can be written as P naught whole into 1 minus mu alpha plus Kx. And if you simplify this equation, then we can find out P minus Px is equal to P whole into mu alpha plus Kx, and P minus Px is nothing but the loss due to pre-stress, which is given by P whole into mu alpha plus Kx. Okay, so this P loss is equal to P naught into mu alpha plus Kx. Now let's find out the losses for cable 1. Total length of the cable is 10 meter, right? So loss of the first cable is given by, you just put in the equation, you can find out 10.32 kilonewton. For the loss in the form of stress, if you want to find the stress, then you just replace this P with the stress of the cable, initial stress of the cable, then you will get it 51.6 megapascal. If I want to find out the percentage loss, it is the loss due to friction divided by initial stress, which is 4.3% loss that we have observed in the cable 1. And in the cable 2, same process, you can observe the value of pre-stressing loss is due to 2.9. And for this third cable, here this was a straight line, the third cable was a straight line, so alpha will be eventually be 0. So if alpha is 0, then this equation becomes sigma cable into Kx. So if you put it, you will get this value will be 0 here, and this value will be 3.6. And the stress, if you want to find out, this is 18 megapascal. This is in terms of force, this is in terms of stress. Here also this is in terms of stress, and the previous one is in terms of force. This was in terms of force. Okay, so this is how you can find out the losses due to friction in post-tension pre-stress concrete. You already know that in pre-stress concrete, which is pre-tension, you will not find this kind of losses. This kind of losses is only prominent in post-tension, when there is a friction between the duct and the tendon. So with this, I would like to conclude today's class.